Think of Logan Roy clinging to his massive media conglomerate, or Walter White violently defending the crystal meth empire he built from scratch. We watch these aging patriarchs fight desperately to maintain their grip as their families tear each other apart. But despite the penthouses and the desert laboratories, these men are following a specific, very old set of stage directions. The blueprint they are following was published 400 years ago in William Shakespeare's King Lear. The play established an enduring character model, an aging father whose maneuvers regarding legacy and succession inevitably destroy his own family. Shakespeare provided the structural code for how modern storytelling maps the collapse of power. Shakespeare actually lifted the premise from an anonymous 1594 play about a legendary pre-Roman king named Lear, but that source material had a very different tone. It was a happy myth where the king is eventually restored to his throne. Shakespeare took that happy ending and shattered it. He drove the old king into madness and killed off his one loyal daughter, Cordelia. By removing the safety net of the original myth, Shakespeare ensured his characters, and their descendants in modern fiction, had nowhere to go but down. In the original story, the king keeps half of his land, but Shakespeare's Lear makes the error of giving away his entire kingdom at once. His daughters secure this land, then immediately turn on him, stripping him of his remaining authority and dignity. Shakespeare then introduced a second invention to the plot, a parallel subplot following the Earl of Gloucester and his two sons, Edgar and Edmund. Gloucester makes the same miscalculation as the king. He puts his trust in his deceitful, illegitimate son, Edmund, and banishes the loyal Edgar. By duplicating the father's failure across two different families, Shakespeare suggests these collapses aren't accidental. They are the predictable result of power without perception. This destruction mirrored a real fear for Shakespeare's audience. Queen Elizabeth I died in 1603 without an heir, leaving a massive vacuum of power. The new monarch, King James I, sought to unite the countries. He even published treatises warning against the dangers of dividing territories among children. Watching a British king carve up his nation on stage drew directly on the political anxieties of the Jacobean crowd, and the family dynamics were grounded in recent headlines. In 1603, the eldest daughter of a gentleman named Sir Brian Annesley went to court, trying to declare her father legally insane to seize his property. Annesley was successfully defended in court by his youngest daughter. Her name was Cordelia. The tragedy worked because it drew directly on the immediate social and political terrors haunting the audience of the 1600s. The Jacobean crowns are gone, but that underlying desire for absolute control functions the same way in modern storytelling. Breaking Bad's Walter White built his kingdom from nothing, yet he still succumbs to a blinding hubris that isolates him and alienates his family. Succession's Logan Roy offers a more direct parallel, a corporate monarch whose refusal to relinquish his media empire fractures his kingdom right down the middle. These characters demonstrate how the archetype thrives outside of literal kingdoms. In the boardrooms of New York or the meth labs of New Mexico, the dynamic remains the same. The patriarch's refusal to evolve turns his legacy into a cage for his children. Strip away the kingdoms and the conglomerates, and you find something highly relatable. Educators and psychologists point out that King Lear is a startlingly accurate portrait of a dysfunctional single-parent household. It maps the everyday domestic struggles of sibling rivalry, favoritism, and the craving for a parent's approval. At its core, the tragedy is about a parent who demands transactional, flattering love and punishes genuine, uncomfortable honesty. Whether you are dividing a country, a corporation, or a family home, power that outlives its wisdom will always summon a storm.